It's finally springtime here in East Cobb, and many of us are either getting their gardens ready or thinking about starting one. I'm going to speak with some of our community members about their gardens, get some tips, and understand why environmental sustainability is important to them.
Hi, I'm Craig, and I wanted to make it where people could understand you could eat your own vegetables. I usually just get some dirt out the yard, but because soil, if it's clay, doesn't work so good. So you can find what you want, but this is seed starting medium. Got it at Kelly Green on Shallowford Road. I started these before we had the frost the last few weeks. And there's peppers, there's tomatoes, eggplant, and basically when you cut a pepper to eat at your home, if you just pull this out of it and put it on the counter and dry it, it's all the seeds for green peppers. Or if you got a yellow one, this one's a yellow pepper. And once they're dry, they just flake off. And right there's like 8 plants worth of seeds. And so I'm trying to do this for a school project that costs nothing. Everybody throws away these things instead of doing that or recycling. And it's an experiment between using plastic and paper, and it goes to which one will let the roots come out of it without tearing them up. That's the experiment. Anyhow, so you drop your seed, put some pepper seeds here. Yeah, you put 2 in there in case one don't sprout. We'll put a couple in each of these. And the peppers are usually 1/4 inch deep. All seeds have different depth that you bury them. The smaller the seed, the closer to the surface. Beans usually go in at like 1.5 inches. I took some of these beans. This is the grand experiment. These are the kinds you eat. Great Northerns, lima beans, black beans. I even tried some barley. And I put them all, just a few of each in this jar. And there's kidney bean and pinto bean. But this pinto bean, I think it's Jack's bean. This is the first one that came up, and it was this. And this is like just a week or so's growth after it comes out of the ground. Composting. Okay, everything that you know, instead of throwing the peelings and eggshells in the trash, you turn it into the soil. Anything organic. The pecan leaves are excellent. Maple leaves are excellent. And in fact, in the garden, they break down and the worms work it, and they're basically ready for spring. Basically, they start to decompose, this is it with a little of the clay. And basically, when it gets closer to springtime, I quit tilling because all you do is make it good for weeds to grow. And you basically just turn it where you dig a foot hole deep and you work it up and you put some lime in the bottom if you're planting tomatoes, and backfill it and cage them. And they like it, they grow big. These are tomatoes, peppers. You grow them till they're this high. And basically, this is how you want to plant them in the ground. Usually 2/3 up. You only leave the top third of the plant showing of the tomatoes, and they develop better root structure.
When do you want to plant them? When are they ready?
Well, normally it's after Easter. Well, that's a good tie-in for using the eggs. Instead of an Easter egg hunt, we're going to do an Easter egg planting, you know. And March 21st is the equinox, the spring equinox, and basically equal day and night. But because when the sun hits the earth, it takes a while to warm it up to temperature because the soil actually has bacteria in it, and it's the one thing that makes animals and plants, they actually can digest one another through the bacteria. And until the soil temperature is right, and it's usually after Easter, but in this weird cycle of weather, it might be late April, early May before you plant because you don't want to lose anything to frost. Last year I planted after Easter and half the tomato plants were killed by frost. I would tell most people, plant what you want to eat. I like cucumbers, bell peppers, tomatoes. I love tomatoes. They say something about tomatoes. It says, there's only two things you can't buy. It's true love and homegrown tomatoes. I worked the food stamp program after 1973 and 4 when it first started. Food security was an issue because of the economy after the Vietnam War. We've cut food stamp allotments in the United States just in January, I think it was, and at the same time we're facing inflation that's, in food because of energy. You raise the price of diesel, the farmer costs them more to plant, and the next thing you know, everything's higher in the grocery store. So when I was in school, one of the first things taught in elementary school was a cup, and you put some dirt in it, you put a seed, a bean, so that children would understand that's where your food comes from. We just need to reconnect because on TV, Survivor, all those things they show, yes, you got to find something to eat immediately, but at the same time, you got to plant something so that in a few months you can actually eat it and it's more sustainable. Next time you buy some beans to eat, save a few. They're all seeds. And the true growth of our economy it's what you can grow to eat.
To find more local advice on gardening, search online for UGA Extension. And to learn more about the environmental sustainability priorities here in District 2, visit d2cobb.com. See you soon.